The Pacific Ocean is now the arena for a high-stakes naval rivalry between the United States and China. The U.S. Navy, long the world's dominant maritime force, faces a rapidly expanding Chinese fleet. China's Navy is growing at a pace never seen before, directly challenging American supremacy. This isn't just about ships, it's a shift in global power, with submarines lurking and strategies evolving. The South China Sea, a vital trade artery, is a flashpoint. China claims most of it, while the US and allies defend freedom of navigation. Taiwan's fate hangs in the balance, with both navies' strength potentially deciding its future. The US Navy is built for global reach, operating far from home. China's plan has focused on regional control but is expanding fast. The question, who rules the seas? The answer depends on how you measure power, numbers, technology, training, or strategy. We'll dive into this rivalry, comparing the US and Chinese navies ship for ship, strategy for strategy. What do their strengths and weaknesses mean for the Pacific's balance of power? And what does the future hold for this great maritime competition? Let's set sail into the heart of the new great game at sea. By 2025, China's Navy is the world's largest by ship count, about 400 vessels, a stunning leap from just 2 decades ago. This massive fleet lets China dominate its near seas, projecting constant presence and power. The US Navy, with around 290-300 ships, is smaller in number but much larger in total tonnage, over 4.5 million tons versus China's 2 million. American ships are bigger, more advanced, and built for global missions. China's strategy, quantity and regional saturation, perfect for defending its coast and asserting control in the South and East China Seas. The US strategy, quality and global reach, with fewer but more powerful ships able to operate anywhere. In a Western Pacific conflict, China's numbers could overwhelm, but the US relies on superior capability and global alliances. It's not about which navy is better, but which is better suited for the next crisis in Asia's contested waters. The US brings experience and reach. China brings numbers and proximity. The balance is delicate, and the outcome, uncertain. The Pacific's future may hinge on which approach prevails. This is quantity versus quality, played out on the world's most important ocean. The stakes couldn't be higher. Aircraft carriers are the ultimate symbols of naval power. The US Navy operates 11 nuclear-powered supercarriers, massive, city-sized ships with over 75 advanced aircraft each. These carriers can sail for years without refueling, projecting American power anywhere on the globe. China, meanwhile, has 3 carriers: Media, Chinese aircraft carrier Liaoning at sea, Liaoning launching fighter jet, Soviet-era carrier in Chinese Navy, Liaoning, a Soviet-era refit, Shandong, its first domestic carrier, and the new Fujian, which features advanced catapults but is conventionally powered. The US can deploy multiple carrier strike groups worldwide, each a formidable force with destroyers, cruisers, and submarines in support. China's carriers are still regionally focused, gaining experience and building operational know-how. The US has decades of carrier expertise, highly trained aviators, and a global support network. China is catching up fast, but its carrier fleet is not yet a match for America's in technology or reach. The Fujian is a leap forward, but the US still dominates in carrier power. In any global crisis, American carriers remain the decisive edge. China's carriers are tools of regional assertion, not yet global projection. The carrier gap is narrowing, but the US lead is secure. For now, the race is on, and the world is watching. The future of sea power may depend on who closes this gap first. Destroyers and frigates are the backbone of any navy. The US relies on over 70 Arleigh Burke-class destroyers, large, heavily armed, and equipped with the advanced Aegis combat system. These ships excel at air defense, missile strikes, and open ocean warfare. China's answer? The powerful Type 055 destroyer, larger than the Arleigh Burke, and bristling with over 100 missile cells. China also fields many Type 052D destroyers, and a vast fleet of smaller Type 054A frigates and Type 056 corvettes. In numbers, China dominates, over 100 frigates and corvettes, perfect for coastal defense and swarming tactics. The US is only now rebuilding its frigate fleet, relying on literal combat ships that have faced criticism for reliability and firepower. The US destroyer fleet is technologically superior and built for global missions, but its lack of smaller ships is a vulnerability. China's massed fleet could overwhelm US forces near its shores, especially in a Taiwan or South China Sea conflict. The US bets on quality, China bets on quantity. In a close-quarters fight, numbers matter. On the open ocean, technology and training may decide the day. The outcome will depend on where and how the next battle is fought. The chessboard is set, and every piece counts. Beneath the waves, submarines wage a silent war. The U.S. Navy's all-nuclear fleet is the world's best, stealthy, long-ranged, and deadly. Ohio-class subs carry nuclear missiles. Virginia and Seawolf-class subs hunt enemy ships and subs with unmatched quietness. China's submarine force is larger in number but mixed in quality, with many older, noisier diesel-electric boats. China is modernizing fast, building new nuclear and advanced diesel subs with air-independent propulsion for greater stealth. U.S. subs are global hunters, able to blockade ports and strike deep into enemy waters. China's subs are regionally focused, perfect for ambushes in the noisy, shallow seas near its coast. In deep water, U.S. technology dominates. Near China's shores, Chinese subs are a real threat. The U.S. holds the edge in stealth and reach, but China's growing fleet can't be ignored. The undersea duel is a game of cat and mouse, with global consequences. Whoever controls the depths may decide the outcome above. The silent war is just beginning. China's secret weapon? Swarms of small, fast, missile-armed patrol boats. The Type 022 Hubei-class fast attack craft, 100 strong, are designed to overwhelm larger ships with sheer numbers. In a conflict, these boats could swarm U.S. forces, launching waves of anti-ship missiles. This swarm tactic is central to China's anti-access/area denial, a 2/AD strategy, making coastal waters deadly for intruders. The U.S. Navy lacks a direct answer. Its littoral combat ships were meant for this role, but have struggled with reliability and firepower. China's littoral fleet gives it a major edge in narrow seas like the Taiwan Strait, where small boats can hide, strike, and vanish. Combined with land-based missiles and air power, China's layered defense is formidable. For the U.S., operating close to China's coast is a nightmare scenario. These small boats are cheap, expendable, and effective, a cost-efficient way to challenge a more advanced navy. In China's backyard, quantity and geography are force multipliers. The U.S. must rethink its approach to coastal warfare. The littoral advantage could tip the balance in a regional crisis. Sometimes the smallest ships make the biggest impact. The U.S. and China's navies reflect two grand strategies. The U.S. Navy is a blue water force built to project power globally, keep trade routes open, and reassure allies. Its network of overseas bases and alliances lets it operate far from home, ready to respond anywhere. China's plan began as a green water navy, focused on defending its coast and the first island chain. Its anti-access/area denial strategy aims to keep U.S. forces at bay with submarines, missile boats, and land-based carrier-killer missiles. But China's ambitions are growing. New carriers, large destroyers, and its first overseas base in Djibouti signal a shift toward global reach. In 2025, China is a powerful regional navy rapidly developing blue water capabilities. The U.S. remains the world's premier global navy, but China is closing the gap. The Pacific is now a chessboard of strategy, alliances, and ambition. The next crisis will test which approach, global reach or regional dominance, prevails. The world is watching as two strategies collide. The outcome will shape the 21st century. The race for sea control is on. The U.S.-China naval race is driven by technology as much as ships. Both nations are investing in unmanned surface and underwater vessels, sea drones that can scout, hunt mines, or even attack. Hypersonic missiles are the new game changer. China leads in deploying them, threatening even the most advanced U.S. ships. The U.S. is racing to develop its own hypersonics and new defenses, like lasers and high-powered microwaves. Information warfare is critical. Satellites, cyber, and artificial intelligence will decide who sees, reacts, and strikes first. AI is transforming naval operations from submarine detection to real-time battle decisions. Both sides are building smarter, more networked fleets. The future may belong to smaller, more dispersed, and unmanned ships, harder to target, easier to replace. The U.S. Navy's distributed maritime operations strategy is already moving in this direction. The era of the giant carrier may be ending. The age of the drone ship is dawning. The winner will be the Navy that adapts fastest to this technological revolution. The next war at sea may be fought by algorithms as much as admirals. The future is arriving. Fast. In 2025, the U.S. and China each command the seas in their own way. The US Navy is unmatched in global reach, carrier power, and submarine stealth. China dominates its home waters with sheer numbers, coastal combatants, and land-based missiles. In the open ocean, America leads. Near China's shores, the plan is formidable. This rivalry shapes global trade, security, and the future of the international order. The competition is spurring rapid innovation, from hypersonics to AI-driven fleets. The great question, can this contest be managed peacefully, or will it spark conflict? The US brings quality and experience. China brings quantity and focus. Neither side holds total supremacy. Each rules its own domain. The dance between these two giants will define the geopolitics of our century. The world's future may be decided on the waves.